We're back. You're listening to APMG Radio with my special guest, Jim Gitney, who is the CEO of Group50. So, Jim, today we're now going to go on to talking about exit planning or transition. Why is this so important?
The United States has been known for a long, long time and has differentiated itself by its great source, an unending source of entrepreneurs. And there are over 2.5 million businesses in the United States that are owned by people who are over 55 years old. Almost 90% of those folks don't have exit plans put in place on how they're going to transition from their business either into retirement or into a different role, maybe a role inside the business of doing something that they really love to do, the thing that made that business successful. And so in order to be able to successfully transition out of your business, you need 3 to 5 years. And you need someone to help you quarterback that plan. You need a personal strategy that says, in 3 to 5 years, I want to be able to sit on the beach, play golf, spend more time with my grandchildren. And in order to do that, here are the things. Then I need a strategy for the business. Here are the things we need to do inside this business in order to make that happen. And as we were talking about most companies not effectively implementing strategy in the first part of the radio show, this is true for privately or closely held companies as well. So they don't do it because it's not a priority, because they don't have time, they're too busy with their business. But the two most primary reasons for why those owners don't have a business plan or exit plan written down is because it's complex and it's emotional. I'm finally admitting that there is an end to my involvement inside the business. And many times they don't have a good team supporting them to be able to think it through.
What are the main components of a good plan?
Well, we'd hit on it a little bit, the owner's personal strategy and the business strategy that supports it. Succession plans. A lot of companies today are run by the founders of the company, and they still are the company. And founders need to put together succession plans to elevate people inside the organization or find someone else who's going to be able to run the business in their absence. They should have that anyway, whether they plan on retiring or not. Two other really important parts are developing a plan to minimize the taxation upon a liquidity event. If they're not careful, they could find themselves having a huge tax bill. But there are many strategies that they can take and need 1 to 2 years time in order to implement them that'll minimize the tax implications of selling their business. The last piece is maximizing enterprise value. When we talk to owners of companies, they say, well, we're going to become more profitable. And you go, yeah, that's great. That's important. But you also need to maximize the valuation of the company or the enterprise value. And what that means is you need to eliminate as much risk as possible so that a potential buyer doesn't discount the value of your company because of you being the only person who can run it, or too much concentration with a specific customer, or a lack of intellectual property, et cetera. And thinking through these things takes time.
How does maximizing enterprise value affect the plan?
Well, it provides a much larger wealth component for the owners upon leaving the business, but it also gives the owners a lot more flexibility in choosing how they want to exit the business. If I don't pay any attention to this and next month decide I'm going to sell the business, I might be really surprised at how little the business is worth. But if I pay attention to it, put a plan together, put the right team of experts to support me in the implementation of that plan, I might decide that maybe I really don't want to sell the business. Maybe I want to do something different because we've been able to make the business that much more profitable and valuable.
And how does Group 50 fit in this market, would you say?
Well, again, we're about helping leaders of businesses create strategies and implementing those strategies. And so that's where we fit. And it's all about creation and implementation.